Okay, so it is coming a couple. I just want to make sure that we're still doing, because this isn't usually a problem. I hope.
Hi.
I hope.
Hello. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Did you get your haircut?
No, it probably just looks that way.
Looks good.
Thanks.
Okay, so there's okay, Christine's here. Everybody's getting on. Lisa should be here. So we all, hello, I just want to get started. Today is our meeting is conscious eating and portion distortion. That's our topic. And why we're doing that in the middle of this cleanse or detox is because I really want you now, you're kind of like, the veils have been lifted. You're a little bit more in touch with yourself and your true nature, and you're not possessed by some of the food manufacturing and different other things that take control of us. So I kind of just want to see if you're able to have you been having some conscious awarenesses about yourself and food. So that's really where we're going to get ourselves started today, and really going to get talking into that. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is our portions. A lot of times when we're doing this, we're finding ourselves not as hungry. And maybe if you're just started the first couple of days, you still might be, but generally after a few days, your hormones get balanced. You tend not to be as hungry as you are on a normal everyday basis. So really this is about you all communicating to each other and expressing the awarenesses that you personally have had, and then we'll go from there. So I just want to see if we could open it up to whoever's really ready to do some talking about what I just talked about.
I was just gonna say, I definitely am more aware than I was in the past, but I still get mad at myself because even though I'm aware, I still choose. I mean, right now I'm on the cleanse, but still, why do I still choose to sabotage myself? That's another meeting, but but yeah, but I am aware, and and I educate other people too, on what you should be avoiding, processed foods, especially stuff like that, but.
Yeah, and that's a really good question. And I know some of you might have that same thing. Why do we choose to sabotage? And that's the big meditation question,
Yeah.
right? Like that is a big self-awareness. That's like deep. Like that
Yeah.
isn't something that you're going to pick up on in a month or two. It might take years to really discover that. But it's in there. You know what that is, and it's
Because I feel like for me, I can't just, it's hard for me to just have a piece of cake or something like that, especially if it's in the house. Like if it's gonna be there, I'm just gonna eat it. So yeah, I'll bring it in the house, but so special occasions come up sometimes. So I don't know if other people have that challenge or not, but
Yes.
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's the key. When we have that challenge, we just don't bring that cake in the house, or we learn to make a healthier version that we're not going to go create. Eventually, it won't be a problem where you're strong enough to say that is not coming in my house, right? Because why are we going to do that to ourselves? Because I don't know about you, but if I ate a whole cake, I would be gone for 3 days out of being my best self.
Yeah,
right?
right. Because it doesn't make me feel good. It just tastes good. That's the problem. That's pleasure center in the brain lights up.
They always used to say that one thing, like a moment, what was that? A moment on the hips.
A moment on the lips is forever on the hips.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, to me, that's a silly thing, because that's not, but I like to look at it something like that. 1 minute that we're going to have this pleasure, but what is it going to cost us for those next few days?
Right.
It's so that is really what we're talking about at conscious eating, is really being able to be in the moment. If I eat this, what is going to be the result? What do I want to achieve? We want to know, like, what do we want to accomplish in our life? Who do we want to be? And when we know that, we're going to choose our life, our activities. We're going to choose how we spend our day and what we eat accordingly, right? You all are doing this, so there's a reason you're doing it, right? And we already talked about what that was. So you're noticing that you are, because you're a couple of days in.
Yeah, I'm not craving sugar. I thought I would be. Here and there, I shouldn't say not, you know, see a commercial for something chocolate. Yeah, I want the chocolate right then, but it passes. So,
Yeah, and that is a perfect thing, like, and it TV totally aggravates me,
yeah.
right? Because it programs us to want things. It's crazy. Like now I'm hearing, like, what was advertising, just the craziest thing that
Oh, yeah.
I just heard it at the nursing home and I don't remember what it was, but anyway, it's just crazy what they're advertising for us these days. So who else wants to talk about what you've observed for yourself over the past couple weeks or past week or?
I'll go. Unless someone else wanted to go.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right. I wasn't sure if I was jumping in front of anybody.
Yeah.
What I noticed is that over the course of working with you over years now, that even when when I'm like at like my lower point, like a lower point, I realize that I am somehow it's in my head now that I'm making wiser choices. They might not be the best choices, but at least they're wiser. So I'm moving in the right direction. I also find that if I could stay on track a couple of days, then it's easier to go another day and another day. It seems like the first few days are the hardest. And even though, like Janine said, you know what the choices that you should make. And then sometimes you don't, you stray and you don't make those wise choices. But if somehow you can find it, and I struggle with this too, but if you could find it like within yourself, just to stay straight for a few days, then the next day gets a little bit easier and the next day gets a little bit easier. That's what I'm sensing right now. That's the point I am at right now.
And that is so true. Like you said, it takes years and it will keep getting easier. And that's why we're going to be more careful of getting in time. You all will be more careful of it getting off too much because it's a lot harder to get back on, right? You're going to be like, and if you do choose, you eventually won't want to have too much of that. Cassidy bought me these, she thought they were good for me. Tate's gluten-free chocolate chip cookies, right? I couldn't even finish a whole cookie. It was so sweet, right? Like it was just, it was too much. But like that will happen in time with you guys. Like you will be like, nope, that's not, my body doesn't want to even accept it. At this point, you notice the stuff while you're on this cleanse. And that's why I want you to use that consciousness to really feel like, what does it feel like to feel clear and not having cravings, right? And not going through those energy highs and lows, that you're more, stable and you feel good. So thank you, Lisa. Who else wants to share what's been happening with them?
Well, one thing I noticed, and because I'm not used to noticing things, so I was trying, is I cheated and I ate some potato chips and I thoroughly enjoyed them, but I didn't thoroughly enjoy, like I did notice the yucky, heavy kind of feeling, but unfortunately I still enjoyed them. But I did notice that what it did to my body.
That's great. That's great. Sometimes those are really good lessons to learn.
Hi, Lisa Price.
Hello. I apologize, but it's good to see you all. Hi.
Hi. Chris, you've been on it for 3 weeks now, maybe 4 weeks.
Yeah, coming up to the end of the I guess this weekend, is my 30 days. Yeah. So I would have to say that this is really good timing for me, because I am kind of struggling with, if you want to use it, like the angel and the devil, because coming at it was like, oh, well, after the cleanse, I can have that. And after the cleanse, I can have that. And then I'm kind of like, which some things, it was our anniversary, we went out to dinner and, we shared a baked potato and we did share a dessert, but, and I definitely am being more mindful of how I feel after I eat that. And then I'm just kind of like, have that inner turmoil, like, well, I'd like to have that, but do I really want to have that? Or, what can I have that would satisfy that is maybe a little bit healthier? So, now to me, I think the hardest part is actually coming out of the cleanse and not going back to the bad behaviors. That even if I'm more mindful and be like, I really don't feel that great after it, but how do I get myself to get to that better option, beforehand?
Yeah, that's really, really great to say. And that is exactly this plan that you're on, the eating plan with, is really kind of where you want to be eating all the time. You just want to start to add in a little bit of quinoa, some sweet potatoes, some winter squash, right? That's really, but ultimately the amount of protein, that's where you want to stay. The vegetables, you want to stay there. Now you're on one piece of fruit, right? At this stage, I tend to go for 2 pieces of fruit. I think when we eat less than that, we tend to end up getting food cravings of something sweet. But I think making that as like you said, I have a craving for sweet, or I have a craving, right? But what can we choose? Like during a cleanse, an orange always tastes amazing, or an apple. But after a cleanse, it's like, oh no, like peanut butter and something else tastes
Chocolate or something.
right. Like, and that's where we have to remember more days of the week. We want to model ourselves just like this, really. And you will feel amazing if you eat like this. I'm not saying we don't remember all the things that we've learned. We don't want to have food rules and say we can't. We're choosing not to because I care about my health. I care about my energy. I want to be light in my body, right? I want to be able to be focused. I want to be able to do the job I want. I mean, think about it. So many times we choose foods as a distraction or a way to numb out, right? Or not really focus.
Christine, maybe you could try that what Lisa was talking about, like after your detox is over, can I just do it another day?
Yeah, that's true.
And then the next day, can I do it another day? And like Georgia said, add some things in, but
Right,
don't give
make it-
yourself permission to go off, because I know you said you have a goal for your son's wedding, so
Yeah.
you
So
don't want to
yeah, that's-
sabotage your program either.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, and to, like Georgia said, to make it more of the exception than the rule. So, if there is that, something, or I don't want to say I can't have it, but, just have it, for that special occasion or that one time, and, continue to then go back on doing each day, do it one more day. So yeah, that's a good point. Thanks.
Let's hear from a few others. I want to see if we can get some other topics.
I mean,
What's the
for
question?
me, what I've noticed, oh, sorry.
No, I just want to know the question, that's all.
You go ahead, you go ahead.
No
You
question.
go ahead.
What's the question?
Yeah,
What the question is,
Yeah.
so she was late.
Oh, the question is like, what do you notice when you're on your cleanse? Like, what are you noticing in your body, or what are you experiencing?
all right. Well, go ahead, Kim, and then I'll jump in later.
I think my problem right now, I don't know if it's a problem, but around 9 o'clock, I'm actually hungry. So it probably means I'm not doing something right during the day. So, and maybe I'm hungry. I'm hungry. So I've gone to like a small bowl of popcorn to ease the hunger, and that will satisfy it. But I am noticing the last 3 nights I've been hungry.
Well, are you having their nighttime snack? I mean, some
Mm,
vegetables?
no,
Or is that
no,
something you don't?
I haven't done the nighttime snack of
Yeah.
vegetables.
For some reason, that doesn't, I don't know, that doesn't appeal to me at night.
It doesn't
I
appeal
agree,
to
me
to have
either.
a period.
But Kim,
Yeah.
maybe because you haven't been feeling well.
Maybe. I mean,
I
I've
would do,
been doing tea like around 7:30. I'll have a cup of chamomile or something. But I'm hungry. I'm still hungry, like at 9 o'clock. It's
Shoot, I'm nuts, I forgot.
So
once you
you can
get to
use
phase
them as their
2, I would do,
fats.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, what about that? Like a sliced apple and some almonds? Something, would that be a healthy option?
But
It's a
I
pop-
like
it's
I like the idea of the detox if you can. I mean, we can't always, but not really having that. If you can have nothing, that would be the ultimate. So maybe we can eat a little bit more at dinner time. So you
Yeah.
really can have that opportunity of rest and recover and like really take advantage of.
Have dinner later.
Yeah,
What time do you eat dinner, Kim?
Around 6.
And at 9, you're hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe add more veggies to your dinner.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. You eating enough veggies? Cause
Or enough protein. you
And
know.
are you drinking enough water throughout the day?
No, water could always be an issue.
So maybe look at that and see if you get that up, you might be a bit dehydrated and your body's just telling you like, I'm hungry. But you also, believe it or not, we're all programmed. Our bodies know that we're gonna have something at a certain time. So it's gonna tell us, oh, you're hungry. So if you're typically having a snack at night, it's still doing that. The hormones still being activated. And you started what, Monday, right? So you
Monday,
only
yeah.
started a
Monday.
couple of days ago. If you can, maybe drink another cup of tea or another glass of water, or maybe have a piece of fruit that's going to digest a bit quicker than popcorn, just,
Popcorn.
I will say, there were nights I went
Okay.
to bed early because I was hungry and I didn't want to eat anything. And I literally said to my husband, I'm just gonna go to bed now because I don't want to eat anything.
Good
Right,
for
'cause you're
you.
hungry.
That's
Like, you're
great.
hungry.
fall asleep. on
Hungry.
it.
I did that. I went to bed, I was like, I don't want to eat anything, so I'm going to bed.
yeah. And and that's the other thing. And I learned this from my physiology teacher in college. And he talks about that feeling of hunger. And sometimes we think it's hungry, but it's actually just the stomach emptying. And it has that same feeling of hunger. So I always do that. Like she says, like, I can't go to sleep if I'm hungry. So
Yeah.
I actually will go through it. And then I'm like, okay, let me just see. And then I see what I am in the morning. And I'm not hungry. So I'm like, it was just a moment, right? It's like, yeah, we have to go through it. That's the other thing. Like, gosh, we live in the 21st century. It's like quite amazing. We have so many luxuries.
Yeah.
We don't suffer at all, really. It's all the stuff. It's like all
Oh,
kind of, right? You know
Right,
what I
oh,
mean?
yeah,
We
sure.
don't really know what it's like to be hungry.
And that's what I do when I can't fall asleep if I'm hungry, and I think about the children around the world that haven't had a meal for 3 days. And what's wrong with you? Go to sleep.
Yeah.
But another trick, I don't know if this is a good idea, Georgia, I should run it by her first, but like when I was doing the TLS, if I got that really hungry sensation, like 8 or 9 o'clock, I would make myself heat up a cup of almond milk and put in some spices. And that's only like 30, 40 calories.
That's a really good
So,
one.
and
And
that's
there's the
kinda
other one
sustaining,
that
too.
I use is called Puka, Pukka.
Mhm.
It's Maca Majesty. And same thing, it's like it's like a hot chocolate powder, but it's like 10 calories, and like she said, you can put a little bit of almond milk, and it's so good. It's like having a hot chocolate, but not having, and it'll fill the gap, right?
Yeah,
that
right,
we-
exactly.
that we
Here's-
With some ginger and some cinnamon, a little vanilla extract in the almond milk.
Sounds delicious.
It's soothing, kind of.
Yeah. I don't know if this is allowed on the cleanse, but when I'm feeling that way at night, I drink CBD tea. So I'll have a CBD tea and one of those Chalk Zero. And they're only 35 calories and high in fiber. And it's got all those antioxidants too. I mean, I don't know if that's okay. Is that okay on the cleanse? Like, I haven't done it since I've been,
I
Okay.
think a little bit of that is okay. Yeah.
okay.
What was that, Chuck?
Yeah, Chalk Zero.
Chalk Zero, I would go right to their website, CHOC-0.
Oh,
Yeah.
And it's sweetened with like sugar alcohols. So it's and it's monk
Yeah, I
fruit.
think
Yeah,
it's
monk
monk fruit.
fruit and sugar alcohols. It's pretty tasty. And it's not going to spike your sugar like
Right.
other sugar.
Sugar, chocolate.
Yeah, you'll be pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm on the cleanse, I guess this is about the 6th time, the 5th or 6th time I've been on it. And what I am finding is I'm on day 24, I think, today. And after a couple of days, I really wasn't hungry much. And I find that when I'm busy, I sometimes don't get to have breakfast till like 11 because I'm involved in something. And then I'll have my lunch at 4 or 5. So then I have just 2 meals a day, which I know is not good because I need to keep my metabolism going, but then I'm not really hungry later. Like I just ate an apple now, like that's kind of my dinner, like. So it's just different this time for some reason. And also I'm proud of myself for not getting frustrated because I lost 6 pounds in the first week on the cleanse, but basically not much since. And I'm just sticking with it because I know it's the right thing to do. You know, whether I see the scale go down or not, I do feel my body
Probably losing
changing.
inches.
Yeah.
But I
but,
also said to Joanne, isn't it true that if she's not getting enough calories, she might be going into that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so if you're
right.
plateauing, just like we talked about before, if you're plateauing, usually like nothing's moving. So maybe you need to change something.
Mhm.
So maybe you do get up and have that breakfast a little earlier
Yeah.
and because like Janine says, it's like your body can say, oh, there's senses danger.
Yeah.
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 And then notice after a few days, I mean, or it might just happen anyway. The weight loss might just
Yeah,
happen in a
yeah.
couple of days without that, but there is it's a possibility.
Mhm, mhm.
But has anybody noticed that you finding you don't like Joanne said, don't need as much food?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Think so.
Yeah, and I think that's, I want you to just keep noticing this is what I eat and saying, how long can I keep eating like this? Or you could say, wouldn't it be nice if, right? I added this. So let's just go into, I want to talk about portions now. So portions,
Not really.
huh?
No, my stomach was growling. I'm just asking if I'm hungry. Not
Not
really.
really. Yep. See, that's a body doing. So when we're eating our portions, now is a good opportunity to see what does your body really need. If you're starting to find that when you're off and you start to need more food, now we know your blood sugar is out of whack. We know we're all at that stage of our lives. It's really easy that our blood sugar could get a little bit in that pre-diabetes, in that metabolic syndrome range. And we really don't want that to happen. It's really easy for it to come out of it, but we want to really keep in mind what you're doing now is going to keep stabilizing your blood sugar. And if you're finding that you're not as hungry, this is where you want to go back to eating more and more like this. I'm not saying not to incorporate a sweet potato or portions. Maybe it's a half a cup of rice. Maybe some of you are like, oh, I don't want to have that type of carbohydrate. Maybe you have a 1/4 cup, but having some is going to give your body what it needs after you're done this next phase of where you are. So keeping that in mind, and if you can keep that for the rest of your life, a half a cup or a 1/4 cup, when you have those things, you're going to do great. Like that is a realistic portion size. If you're like, I haven't measured my food, well, now is a good time to start, really because that is going to literally move the needle. Half your plate's filled with vegetables. This is what I hear from most of you all is like, oh yeah, I'm not eating my vegetables anymore. But you were when you did the detox, but for some reason you stopped. I am telling you right now, you do not have permission when this detox is over to stop eating those vegetables. That is a non-negotiable. Like it is just has to keep happening. And I say that from so many aspects, and I'm going to go over them. One is your hormones. Your hormones are so important. If your hormones are out of balance, you're not going to sleep right. Watch how you're sleeping now, okay? Keep that in mind. If your hormones are out of balance, what else is going to happen to you? Maybe you're going to have more joint pain. Maybe you're going to be a bit moody. Maybe you're going to have hot flashes. What else happens when your hormones are out of balance?
You might break out.
Yeah, you might, your skin might break out.
I think cravings too, right? Cravings.
Bingo, exactly. When your hormones are out of balance, you have food cravings because believe it or not, that is imbalance with your ghrelin and your leptin, right? And then your cortisol levels, they start to spike where they're not supposed to, where they're supposed to be going down, right? Your melatonin isn't. So it's really, that's number one reason. Why else? We also need to have all these vegetables for having enough fiber, right? So we have a healthy microbiome. Okay, so we get the phytonutrients that our body needs, the vitamins and minerals that our bodies need and they crave. But what else? We know research states that if when a person eats 5 servings of vegetables, they're less likely to get a stroke. It helps you, we know that it helps keep your cholesterol levels down. We know that it helps the blood, eating these vegetables flow through our veins and our arteries, right? So we want to just, well, why? There's other reasons. Elimination. We know that's going to happen better, right? So there, like I said, you've got to do it. And if you're not going to do it, I want you to have another canister of some sort of greens that you're going to take also with, but it's not, I don't care how much, I don't care if it's $100 little canister you got. It's not going to replace you eating real food. It's just not. But if you had 2 vegetables, it's a really good thing. Or maybe you get some blue-green algae to complement your diet. Okay, so that's really key. Protein, that's also not really a negotiable. Not many of us have a problem with not eating enough of that, but a good quality protein, it's got to keep happening. So if you look at your hand, everybody's different, but this is what's so unique. Your body is going to respond very well. The palm of your hand is where, if you're going to have a lean protein, that's where you're going to be.
Do you include
Janine?
the thumb in that?
No,
Just the palm.
just the palm, like the deck of cards.
Oh.
Okay, so, and then like Jean, you're eating more like tempeh. If you would just eat a deck of cards of tempeh, it's 20 grams of protein, just like there is from eating
Wow.
chicken. So that's a really
Yeah.
good one to do. I took tempeh, I'm going to do a tempeh cooking class
Oh, good.
soon.
I don't like it as a rule.
Exactly,
Yeah,
but
need to find a better way to cook
I
that.
took it the other day and I crumbled it and I grated a whole bunch of vegetables and I made it into a veggie patty
Ooh.
with flax, and I did pan fried it and it was very good.
Oh, I'd like that.
Yeah.
What,
that
what,
sounds
what,
good.
I'm sorry, I don't know what tempeh is though. What, is it like this? Is it like, soy? Is it a, like
Yeah,
tofu?
it's a fermented, it can be soy, there can be rice in there can be flax, there can be different other things as well, but it's a fermented food.
Oh, neat.
Makes it good for your gut.
Okay, so we talked about those things, and of course nuts, and this is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I think I put it up if you saw my little thing. Like, almonds are very good to prevent breast cancer. We want to make sure that we do these things so we don't get breast cancer or it doesn't come back, right? And remember, everything we do for ourselves, the world is healed. We're healing the world by taking care of ourselves, right? So just keep that in mind. But back to portions. Deck of cards, the half a cup for your grains. Now here's one, pasta. I know some of you are like, I don't eat pasta. I do eat pasta. I don't, whatever. I know you're all over the board. I love to eat pasta. Probably once a week I eat pasta. I think it's amazing. So, but it's really about how you make it so it's healthy for your blood sugar, for your hormones, right? So you're not gonna, maybe you do have more than a half a cup and maybe you have a cup, but the rest of the day, maybe you're not having oatmeal for breakfast. Maybe you're having something else so you can incorporate that, okay? Or maybe you've really loaded up with vegetables. So you have zucchini, spiralized, or grate up carrots. I mean, there's many ways that you can spread the pasta so it's amazing, right? So I just want you to keep that in mind. Now, I know we're on the detox, but the big question, and I know this is the fear for all of you, what happens next? What's next? And that's why I really want you to be prepared for what's next. If you, like Chris says, oh, I can eat that after the cleanse. Exactly. You just keep saying that. And then you could say, oh, I can eat that after the wedding, right? And then the wedding comes, yep, I can eat that after 2023, right? Like you just kind of keep doing that. Unless if I choose to, and you just keep doing it, because realize every time. Janine said something earlier and she goes, she's living in her past. She goes, I just can't stop doing it. She's thinking about the past. But when we say conscious eating, We're only dealing with the awareness of what's in the moment and in our surroundings. What are sensations we're feeling? That's all that matters. Not, and then that sensation about the past. Oh yeah, I see you. You were there, but right now, do I want to do this? Oh yeah. Now, sometimes that sensation of that guilt and shame, I'm hoping someday that's enough to make you make a decision that I don't want this. You know, that's really where you want to get to. It's like, I don't want to beat myself up. I'd rather have the celery and hummus, right? I'd rather think, I mean, that might not be your thing. But keep in mind, right now, this is your opportunity to find what you really like that's really healthy, and you can get really creative. Like I heard Lisa, yeah, I have a cup of my CBD tea and I get my little Choc Zero. Great. I want to hear, what else are you all doing for, I heard Kim, I have my little bowl of popcorn. What else are you doing to be creative, to be able to have, oh, the almond milk with the spices? That's a really good one as
I like
well.
that idea.
That's a great one.
Actually, I discovered, this is my 6th time on this cleanse. I discovered something different. It may not be new for you guys, but for me, it's new. Every time I make the protein shake, I put all the spinach or the kale and then some berries and the chia and the flax. That's how I use the protein mix, right? But the other day, I made it at night with only a little bit of water instead of a cup, like a half a cup of water, and the chocolate powder, scoop and a half of that, and some strawberries and a frozen banana. And oh my God, it was like a Wendy's Frosty. You
That
know?
is amazing.
It was like a little
Yeah.
chocolate dessert at
Yeah.
night. And I never did that before with the powder. I just
Wow,
always
that's
made
a
it in
good
the
idea.
shake. You know?
Yeah.
It was
That's
so
great.
good.
That's a great idea.
So that is a brilliant idea. So when you have that ice cream craving, that is what you do after the cleanse. You could do it during the cleanse, but you can keep doing these things, because a bunch of these things is going to get you to the goal that you want, right? Like it's what I want to hear, if there's anybody else that's found some creative things that you can do.
You know what?
No,
I'll-
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, for those shakes, I've been doing those shakes since January. I mean, I think they're to die for good. And I do them almost every day at 4 o'clock until this cleanse. No, I'm not doing it, but
Well, you'll
I-
do it in a couple of days. And if you feel
I
like
will do
you
it in a
need
couple of days.
to, that could be something you add.
I mean, I just think they are the best. Number one, they taste great. I don't do everything that Joanne does. I just stick some spinach in there, a lot of ice, and it curbs the appetite, and it tastes delicious. It's just delicious.
Mhm.
I never want ice cream again.
I wouldn't go that far.
And that's, no, honestly, that's the truth. It's the truth. Those shakes are delicious.
Yeah.
I like the pancakes
Exactly.
too from the shake. I'll make those sometimes as a.
Oh, have you made them with the, have you made them? I haven't made them.
Yeah, and actually they make the house smell amazing because it's the vanilla shake and you just mix it with the eggs.
Yeah.
and spinach. Yeah, and they taste pretty good. They're pretty tasty.
I'll try that. I made the muffins and they're okay.
Yeah, they're just,
Right,
okay.
they're
They're
okay.
okay.
you have to put a lot of like
Okay.
cinnamon in them. Yeah. uh-huh.
Yes. The apple cinnamon one with the vanilla was pretty good.
Yeah. I made the cauliflower cakes. Just I have it like as a side with my eggs, just as something different, like instead of like a hash brown, which were pretty tasty. But my favorite seasoning is now everything but the bagel, and I actually put it in my scrambled eggs or my eggs in the morning.
Yeah,
It's so good. Yeah.
That's great.
it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, so keep sharing this kind of stuff on the Facebook group, things that you all are finding, because it's going to be helpful for others. And yes, I want you to keep, after this cleanse, keep doing these things. Like, just because you leave the cleanse doesn't mean, okay, we can go back to our old ways. We're going to keep modeling it. All you're going to do is start to add a couple other things. Like I said, some sweet potatoes, some winter squash, maybe a little bit more nuts and seeds, whole real foods, right? I was thinking about something today. Let me just see if I can gather it again. Like, we as people, if we were going to be writing a sacred text, right? Like if there was like a text from God, like the Bible, right? But it was like the New Testament. What would God say about the food that we're eating when we eat at McDonald's or potato chips.
Mm.
Or cake every night and Reese's and Core Brother. Like, what do you think that would, what do you think it would say?
I've been thinking about that actually.
Really?
Yes, very much so. So I think God would say, create with his creation. So what I was going to say a few minutes ago was like the fermented foods in this cleanse have saved my butt because I have them out on the counter. And if I can't get 3 vegetables in the morning, I'm grabbing some spoonfuls of that. But it's like, it's all there. So there's vegetables, there's yeast on the vegetables, there's salt, there's water. You mix that together, that's healthy food. Sourdough breads, making, like just create with God's creation, but all this manufactured stuff like McDonald's and the processed stuff, that's not God's creation. So
No, it's
yeah.
not. Exactly. So I was trying to, like, I think this is a thought that goes on in my walks all the time. And I'm trying to like decide, like, what would that be, that amount? Like, what is it okay? I mean, of course, it's with each and every person where they are, but what amount is going to keep us healthy if we eat like whole food, right? Right now, you all know where you are, and you're going to still see yourself just getting more and more clarity. You're going to just keep feeling better and more energy. But if you keep doing this, you're going to see, like, if I eat 90% this way, I still feel good. But when I hear you say, I got to get back on track, that you're beyond that threshold, right? And so that's where I want you to find your threshold, right? Afterwards, there's going to be a point of balance. Your threshold's not going to be my threshold, but it's going to be a better threshold from you, Joanne, than it was last year. And like you said, I've already shifted from you. I've never experienced that. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, you could experiment and go a few more days doing that. Or you could say, okay, I'm going to add one more and see, can I break this plateau?
Right.
Because you'll lose a little bit more. So just that's your food for thought, like, because I really want you to this is the best time for you to get really clear, not just about what you're eating, but what is your purpose here? Am I doing what's best for me? Am I doing what serves me right now? What is stopping me? Those are really good ones, because sometimes we're just running ourselves in circles and nobody else is making us do that but ourselves, right? What can we take off of our plate? I think is a big one. But you'll see these things now, and I look at it, most of the time you sleep good for the detox, but sometimes you're sleeping so good you don't need as much sleep, or you might notice you're getting those vivid dreams.
Oh, I had one last night.
Yeah, it is
And I
like,
got up at 4 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was
And-
wide awake.
and so when that
After the
happens,
dream, yeah.
get out the journal and see, because I do believe that this is the opportunity that God is going to be talking to you, and you're going to get some good information. So journal through that if you can, or if you're not a journaler, just sit and be, right, and receive. I think that's key. So let me just check my notes just to make sure that I'm getting what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, so here's one other thing I just wanted to talk about is, and this is your question to yourself. Do you believe that you design your life, or does life just happen to you?
A little bit of both.
Can you ask that again?
Yeah, so do you believe that you design your own life, or does life just happen to you?
I think you design your life, but life gets in the way a lot of times too. Things just happen. You can't
I think
predict
some things
everything.
happen, but you also design your life.
Yeah.
I think it's both.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I really think it's
I
both.
agree.
Yeah, and then sometimes, though, because we didn't take the time
Oh, yeah, right.
to plan, prioritize, organize, that all we do is we just react all day long, right? And I'm going to just pivot this to our food. We sometimes don't give how we're going to nourish our temple body enough focus and priority. So just keep that in mind, because right now you all are rock stars. You're like, yeah, I'm have all these vegetables, and I went to Santori's, and you're doing it. You're there. But we want to keep that after the cleanse as well.
Yeah, keep planning.
Yep,
Yeah.
keep planning,
Yeah.
keep prioritize, so we don't have to, and keep, when she says planning, yeah, keep planning, but also be that visionary. What could possibly get in my way? If history repeats itself and I know that I let this happen, this time I'm going to go this way instead of that, or I'm going to do this first instead of that.
Mhm.
Like you all hear me a lot. I cook in the morning a lot of the times
Mhm.
because I know if I don't, if like I come home, what am I going to, not when I'm on a cleanse, I'll eat peanut butter, right? I won't, so, a lot of times I, will make sure that I know what I'm going to have and start it in the morning. So it's ready to go. So just get to know you. That's all. Conscious eating is get to know you and what's best for you. And like Lisa, like experiment with the fermentations. Like, I think that's alive, that's living, right? And then get into what she said about sourdough bread, right? A dough, a starter like that starts to digest the wheat. So it's good for us. It's not like where it doesn't offer us. All I hear now is people, I eat that low carb 40-calorie bread. I'm like, because there's like no nutrients in there. There's no, it's devoid. It's not even
Those wood
real.
particles, I heard. That's true.
Exactly. It's like cellulose in there. Yeah, it's too crazy. So in what you want to focus on when we're being conscious is making more time for meditating, listening, right? Being in the present, asking yourself some questions like, what am I trying to achieve in my life? What's working? What's not working? And what can I do to change? Those are some questions that you can put in, whether you just do it like that or write it down. Journaling is a really, really good way to go. Just see if there's anything else. So I think that I'm complete. Does anybody have any questions that they wanted to?
I have a question
Yes.
about squash on
Okay.
the cleanse.
Okay.
You said after the cleanse, you can add some winter squash.
Yeah. So if
That
you
means
feel
should
the
not have
need
been
to,
eating it all along.
no, if you're eating it and it's fine. Yeah. Just
Because
if you're
I
having,
don't eat it every night.
yeah. No, I eat it. If
But I
you're
bought spaghetti squash, I bought acorn
beautiful,
squash.
spaghetti
I was
squash
gonna eat
is
it. I've been
beautiful.
eating the butternut noodles. I love those.
Great.
Yeah, I
Great. No,
love
you
those.
keep eating them. That's totally
Okay.
fine. Yeah. I did, some of you aren't eating them, so I just wanted to say it like that. But yes, I think it's totally fine to eat them.
Okay, that's good.
Um,
That's your answer.
Now, before we close, I just want to hear, what is one thing that you are ready to commit to about your conscious eating? What is one thing that you might have gotten from today that you're going to implement into your world? Think of it.
I'll go. I'm gonna try to plan healthy options for the cravings that I have. So I'll have it on hand instead of just going and grabbing something that is not what I want to eat. So I actually just ordered some of that Choc Zero and but and maybe I know there's recipes out there for brownies with the like sweet potatoes, or try to have other things that I can do and go to when I want something sweet but not want to indulge in something.
Good. I love that, because that's great. It's really important to have good hacks, for life. Who wants to go next?
She's writing it down too, so.
I think I'm gonna,
Sorry.
uh,
Sorry.
I know I have to prep more. I just do. I am kind of winging it. I lost 5 pounds, so I feel pretty good about that. Yay.
That's
Nice
great.
job, nice
Yeah,
job.
like a zillion dinners and all kinds of stuff. So I've strayed a tad, but I'm really glad that, I dropped 5 pounds.
Yeah.
But winging it a lot. So I know that that's not a good habit to stay in. So I need to prep.
I like it.
Mm.
Key to success is prep in every aspect. What about you, Hope?
Well, I liked the concept of like, okay, I'm just gonna extend this one more day and one more day, and oh, maybe I can do it one more day because I'm at the end of the Omni Cleanse one. Like it was only 2 weeks long.
You keep doing those, you keep doing it again. You just keep.
They
doing
don't,
it.
so you don't have any more of those cleanse pills. I still have drops, but none of the, but the
You don't
cleanse
need to
pills.
take those pills. You just continue the drops.
Okay,
Same principle. Those 3 for 3 days, those other 3 for 4 days until
Okay.
the bottles are done. And that
Okay.
would be really good for your body to finish them up. Okay, it might take you 6 weeks for them to completely end. It might take you 2 months. Depends on how accurate you are with the 10 drops.
okay. All right, then I'm going to continue this for 14 more days.
Okay, good deal.
Um,
And then Kim,
Water.
water, good, Kim. Good one.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, we heard you. We're
Yeah.
gonna focus on water. What about you, Jen?
I do need to be more conscious on drinking more water and conscious of making good choices. Cause I've cheated a couple of times on the detox and that's not good. I feel really guilty when I do that. And I feel lousy after.
Do you
I
feel
had- I
lousy
had
about?
chips. I had chips the other day, like Hope had chips. I felt like crap after. It was horrible. I even dipped them in onion dip. It was horrible. Yeah. And I was like, why am I doing this? During it, I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it tasted good at the time.
Sure.
But then I just felt so lousy after. I was like, I'm supposed to be detoxing and I'm eating chips.
Yeah, you know.
And they
your
were in the
body's-
house. My son went out and bought not a small thing of dip. They sell them in these big huge
Oh my
containers like this. It looked like a freaking thing of ricotta cheese.
Oh, my
This
goodness.
was a tall thing of dip.
Oh my
And I was
god.
like, what the hell, Ryan? So I'm feeling sabotaged because they're still buying crap and bringing it into the house. And I try to get rid of everything. So, and I can't tell them what to eat.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
I
hard.
can't tell them what to eat. He's a 20-year-old man. He eats healthy stuff too, but he still likes his snacks,
Mhm.
So, but now I'm not gonna do that anymore.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I got it out of my system.
Uh-huh. I remember one
It
time,
happened day 5.
it happened day 5,
Yeah.
okay. So
But I
I,
still lost 4.5 pounds.
That's great.
Yeah, so I'm happy about that.
But it would have been more if you hadn't had the chips.
I know, I know.
but remember, it's like I said, it's almost like we're letting ourselves be wide open. When you eat in this cleanse, you're wide open. So sometimes that's why it's important to meditate, slow down, take naps. But
Mhm.
I can remember driving into a Wawa. Now this was 1999 and I was on a cleanse and I bought Doritos. And I could just remember, and that was the last time I ever ate Doritos because once again, that shame, guilt,
Shame, guilt,
and then
yeah.
I felt so nauseous after eating them.
Yeah, I didn't feel too good after the dip and chips.
Gross. And they were,
Fortunately, I don't get that problem. I feel good no matter what I
Me
eat, kind of,
too.
except for, like I said, spaghetti sauce. I've told you that before. Eggs and spaghetti sauce bother my stomach and nothing else really does.
Mm.
But the guilt, yeah.
well, the guilt's heavy,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I-
That can upset your stomach, the guilt itself.
Right.
Exactly.
And the fact that it
It's
takes
true.
months after that to lose.
Yeah,
whatever
yeah,
weight
for
you
one
gained.
day of
That's what
binging
gets
or
me.
eating.
'Cause I feel the same way. I could eat a whole bag of Doritos, whole box of Devil
Yeah.
Dogs, like all at once, and
yeah.
no problem, I don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Until then I have to try to lose that weight.
Yes.
It takes forever.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah, but we want to get you to the.
You know,
place
but
that-
I
ahead,
kind of like what George just said one time. I can't remember when we said this. So if you slip, you just say tomorrow, just put it behind you. You slipped, just put it behind you. Don't feel guilty. Just move on. I think the guiltiness it feeds itself.
It does, right?
Yeah.
Why are we carrying something that's in the past? Like, it's
But,
not,
yeah, it's in the
It was-
past. Like, just move on and be happy that you ate it and just say to yourself, I'm not gonna do it the next time. I don't know. I wouldn't get myself worked up over it. That's probably why I was. But I don't think you should feel guilty.
right, it's just a.
I think it's like a
just
bad emotion.
Agree. 'Cause think about it. We all have, we walk,
it
and
go.
especially as
Just let it
being
go.
women, with guilt and shame just for being us. Like, we are conditioned so much that we don't even know that we have it. We don't need to have it because we had a devil dog or a potato chip, right? Like,
Right.
it's not necessary.
Yeah,
Inconsequential.
yeah.
So let's see, who hasn't gone yet? I think you haven't,
Just
Janine.
us, Yeah.
Lisa Taylor had to jump off. She put a note in here.
Oh, okay. Did Hope go?
Yes, she had one.
I think the biggest thing I can commit to, I would like to say eating the vegetables, but I know sometimes I get away from it. I'm gonna try and stay with that, but what I'm really thinking is paying attention to my portion size and paying attention to my hunger cues. As far as when I'm full, stop. Breaking that old, you have to clean your plate mentality that I
That's
grew
a
up with.
great one.
And I think I am getting better with that too, because you've been talking about that a lot the past few months. It's really sinking in, I think.
Good. And did you go?
I did not go. We didn't really talk about this too much, but I haven't had a cup of tea in a long time because I just do the lemon water every
Right.
morning. I just, whether I'm on the cleanse or not, I just do that. And then I got away from the habit of drinking tea, and I always would just drink green tea and decaffeinated, and it was healthier, but I think I'm gonna look into the different teas, like the herbal teas and what they might be good for, and I don't really know much about all that.
That's great.
A friend of mine told me the other day, I forgot to check with you, that green tea with lemon is so much better than just green tea by itself or lemon water. Like, it's something about the green with the lemon. I didn't
So
look into it.
probably the vitamin C, the antioxidant with the lemon, but the green tea is so good for so many, it's good for a microbiome, it's good for antioxidants, it's good for the heart, good for our
So I'm gonna put
metabolism,
that back into my diet.
preventing cancer. I just read something. Okay, so I just read a study earlier this week. And they were trying to make changes, and it's a big study. It wasn't a small study, but they took different groups of men that they knew weren't going to eat the vegetables. Okay. And so what they did was they gave them green tea extracts, and they had them do one group did that. And the result of that was they made big differences in their cholesterol, weight. There was like a big difference just by putting that one
That's
great
good to know. Wow.
intervention into place. So
How much green tea? How much?
they
extra?
didn't in the study. It didn't say what
Hmm.
what it was, but
Hmm.
I like to look at it like, because sometimes people take a study and they're like, that's the miracle, right? I
Right.
found it. It's the founding. It's just one thing, right? If you drink green tea once a week, great. If you drink it 2 times a week, fabulous. But you know what I mean? It's like, it's all the little things that are like the miracle, right? In my opinion.
I'm thinking that would be good to slip into Jim's vitamins in the morning.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
you can buy
Oh,
it,
yeah.
go for them, right?
I also read that it's good for brain, and the microbiome. So yeah, there's a lot of really good reasons to.
And that Tudka is good for the.
But
brain
like you
too.
were saying, what else is good? Like dandelion really good tea. When we were talking about Tudka, that's another, it's not Tudka, of course, but
Yeah.
it does help move the bile, is dandelion root tea. I like at night, I'll take dandelion root tea with mint together, and I think that's just delicious. But just kind of experimenting, buying a bunch of different ones.
That probably doesn't have caffeine like the green tea.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
but
the only problem.
You get green that's decaffeinated.
You can get some.
Yeah,
Oh, they
that's what I
haven't
usually
green
get.
when it's happening, yeah.
But then I just wanted to say, thank you, Kim, first for organizing the Hero Walk with Joanne, and thank you all that came out for the walk. It was fun. It was a
It
nice
was fun.
it was a nice day. Those of you that weren't able to make it that did sign up, we have your t-shirts here. And we also have like the t-shirt from the hero and then the Vitality t-shirt. So we have those. The step challenge, if you keeping track of your steps, we're at 7,500 a day. So we have a new challenge to keep recording those. If you didn't see on Facebook, November 12th, we have the mushroom foraging walk. So that's going to be really great. She's also going to bring some of her products for sale if you would like. Her mushrooms are amazing, but she also has tinctures. That's really all I've seen that she has. So but
I wouldn't even know what to do with the tincture.
so she'll tell you, but
She'll
you can
tell you,
just add them to water. Some of them that she grows are very good for anti-aging, immune functions. She's got
Nice.
some.
Okay.
She's
I
got
forget
some.
where we're meeting.
We're meeting at Estelle Manor, at the Route 50 entrance way. Okay. I will not be here at the next meeting. But please come to the next meeting. It's on mindful movement. It won't be like a real full-blown exercise class. But it's with Robin. Okay, so it's November 1st. You can join virtually, you can come in person, just like usual, just let us know. Kelly will also be there too to help with the the technology, just so she doesn't get mucked up with that part. And I will be back for after that. If you need me for some reason, okay, if there's something that you need, my phone, I don't know what that's gonna look like, but I will check in with the office. So just if there is something, just call the office. Okay, that'll probably be the best. I don't know, like if I wanted to say, I just don't want to say text message and I don't get it. And then you're like, you said, healthy chat, that could be something that I could be able to check. Okay, so you can also
okay.
you could do that. Okay. If you wanted, it was something to do with the detox, because I realized some of you were on the detox, you might have questions. The chat function on Healthy. However, I will be traveling for 27 hours starting tomorrow night. So, it won't be until Saturday, that I'm back available. Okay. Let me see, did I get step challenge, mushroom, November 1st, next meeting? Yep, I'm all good. So,
Thank you.
yes, thank you. Thanks,
Have
everybody.
a wonderful trip, Georgia. We
Thank
can't wait to
you.
hear about it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Wish you all the best
gonna
with
be
your
amazing.
detox. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, have a wonderful time with your daughter. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.